Okay, so to figure out our chords, let's zoom out a little bit and let's first think about our tonic, predominant, dominant, tonic. And let's do it backwards. Trust me. Okay, so here we're back to the tonic, right? Let's do our letters here. Okay, so we're back to tonic here. Here we're on a dominant. We already know that. And where does our predominant come in? Possibly here, but this E actually doesn't work on a predominant. That could still be our tonic area. These D's do work as our predominant though. So let's call that predominant. This one, let's see if we can tie that to the dominant texture. I've got kind of idea of a way that we're going to do that. So just hold on. Now with these, I could do the same thing here. I could treat this as two different phrases where this is going to go, we're going to have some kind of predominant around here, dominant, tonic again. Or I could treat it as one long phrase and try to treat this all as tonic area stuff. What's going to be better? I don't know. Let's try it as two phrases. So let's call here predominant, here predominant, here predominant. The reason I'm doing that is because this D is going to work in a 2 or a 4 chord. So E, let's go dominant. Let's call that dominant, and let's call that dominant area. And then here we're back to tonic area. Okay, so this is all going to sound nice around a tonic area. And same thing back here. Okay, so I think I've labeled everything, right? Okay, so we've got tonic, predominant, dominant, tonic, and then starting over, tonic, predominant, dominant, tonic. Okay, so let's figure out what I want to do for chords. And remember, I'm not going to worry too much about inversions just yet. So we're going to have a 1 chord, a D. What chord can I make out of a D? Should we do our experiment again to see what notes are in a D? Did I already do that over here? Yeah, that's what this one is. Okay, so I can, if I treat D as the 1 chord, or if I treat D as the root of the chord, it gives me, in this key, remember we're using C major key here, it gives me a 2 chord. If I treat it as the 3rd of a chord, it can give me the 7 chord, so the diminished chord. So probably going to leave that one off for now, but we might use it later. We'll see. And if I treat it as the 5th of the chord, we have a nice dominant chord. So I could do a 5 here. Could do a 5, or I could do a 2. What's going to be better? Well, I don't like following 2 with I don't like following 1 with 2 because that's going to create a lot of parallels. It's not a great motion. So let's do a 5 chord here. Remember, we're in the tonic area, but we can do a 5 chord. So let's just call this 5 of some type. Here we could go back to a tonic chord because it's C. Let's do that. That goes well after 5. Here we're back to another D. So we could do another 5 chord. 5 or 2 really. So let's do a 5 chord, and we'll do some kind of inversion there. We'll see. E gets us back to a tonic chord. We just did a 5 chord, so we really should do a 1 chord here. Now I've got these repeated notes. What do I want to do on the repeated notes? Do I want to do 1 over and over? Well, let's think about if it sounds like the chord, if it feels like the chord should move there. I don't think it should, but we got to do something new, right? So let's just label these as 1, and we will do some kind of inversion thing here to keep things moving, okay? And now I need something on this beat 4, and here I do want to change it because I want to do something that helps us lead into this predominant area. So E, what chords work with E? Let's go out here and figure out what we can do. So if E is my root, I can do a 3, a minor 3. If it's my 3rd, I can do major 1. Or if it's my 5th, oops, I can do A minor. Ooh, that could be nice. It's the relative minor, right? I don't want to do tonic. I don't think I want to do 3, because again, following 1 with 3 isn't an awesome sound. Change that. So let's do the A minor. So that's 6. That's going to be the minor 6. Okay. And then we get to this D. Now this is our predominant area. So we want to hover around 2 and 4 here if we can. Does 2 work here? D, C, D. Yeah, that's our 2 chord if we treat this as tonic. So let's do 2 here. And again, just like here, we'll do some kind of inversion with this to make it feel like we're moving through this section. And then here, at the end, on that last beat, let's switch to our other one. Let's switch to a 4 chord. And then we have this dominant area. Now with the E, with the pitch E, which we just did over here, can we get a dominant chord? In the key of C, the 5 is G. We can't get a G major chord with an E in it. So we've got a little bit of problem there. We can get a tonic though. So let's put a tonic chord here, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a 1, 6. So I'm going to do a tonic chord with, actually 6, 4, with a G in the bass. That has a feeling of a 5 chord, even though it's a tonic chord. Come back and tidy that up later. And then this G, let's do just a straight up 5 chord. Straight up 5 chord. And then here we've already got a 5 chord. Okay, now we're back to here where we already have a tonic chord in root position. Now, I'm repeating the phrase here. So what I'd like to do is use the same chords I used over here. The notes are the same, right? So let's use the same harmony. That tends to feel really good. So let's call that a 5. Let's call that a 1. And let's call that a 5. Okay, now here, I did 1, 1, 1, and then 6. But now I have a note here, but that's okay. Let's do 1116. Okay, 1116. Now this kind of parallels this. So listen. And here, the chords could be kind of similar. But I guess they're a bit different. So it's not a perfect, I take that back. I don't think the chords are going to work together. We already have a 5 here, so let's label that. And we have a 1 here. So we have predominant, dominant, 1. Okay, so I can't do a dominant chord on an E, right? Or with an E in it. See, over here, I had to do a 1-6-4 to make that work. So I'm going to do the same thing here. So we're going to make this some kind of 1-6-4. And then here, I can do just a couple 4 chords. Actually, if I wanted to get kind of fancy here, I can do a 2 chord and then a 4 chord. Let's have a little fun with it. That might sound weird, but let's give it a shot. So for my big cadence at the end, I'm going to have 2, 4, 1-6-4, 5, 1. All right? And this is actually a 5-7. All right. So there's all my chords. Now let's try it. We're going to try to fill this out and see if we can make it work. Maybe we can't. Maybe we have to go back to the drawing board with some of this, but I think it'll work. Who knows? Let's try it. So our next step is to write out the bass line. So let's do that next.